the Mandalorian movie is set to start filming this summer. Last month, it was announced that the next Star Wars film would be The Mandalorian and Grogu. The Mandalorian Grogu? Yeah, actually, we could call it that. But it is called The Mandalorian and Grogu, and is directed and produced by Jon Favreau, with additional production credit going to Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni. Earlier this month, Film Production Weekly, which is sort of the inside scoop on all things happening in the film business, they said that the movie is set to begin production on June 17th of this year. A report also came on Wednesday that said that the film is officially slated for 2026 release, and the logo for the movie even seemed to appear online. Still not sure if that is fan-made art or not, but you know what? I'm buying it. I'm going with it. Ash Crossan, who's a friend of Around the Galaxy and a reporter for Entertainment Tonight, caught up with Dave Filoni at those Saturn Awards that we just talked about and asked him, so does this mean no season 4? To which the man in the hat said, there's so much spinning in the galaxy right now. You know me better than to commit to any one thing. So, Nick, I am going to say that this filming, if it does begin in just a couple months, I think that spells the end of season 4 for The Mandalorian. And I'll tell you what, I'm totally fine with that. I think that's the right move. I think that Disney Plus told the story perfectly. It ended perfectly. I've said it 1,000 times. The story ending with his feet up and his son playing in the pond just ended that story. So let's let the movies take it in a different direction. Nick, what do you see from this movie? What do you want to see from this movie? Keeping in mind that it's different from the Filoni-driven Mandoverse movie, which is still on the horizon as well.
This is correct. And I think that that's a very key important detail. This is a Jon Favreau directed movie, if I'm not mistaken.
This one's a Favreau movie. Yep.
This is going to have Filoni fingerprints on it, but it's going to be, under the Favreau lampshade. That's putting out the light that we're going to see. I think that it has the opportunity to be maybe a little more mainstream. Maybe not quite as lore driven, quite as deep in the weeds. It's certainly going to have, things that Star Wars fans connect to. But when we saw the first couple of episodes, the first season of Mandalorian, that was very much us playing with our toys in the toy box, in the sandbox. I think that has the opportunity to be, a part of this coming back in there, bring in some, more of the OG Gen X fans of our age, while still including, some of the other folks that are going to come in along the way. I think it's going to be nostalgia driven. Actually, I think it's going to continue that storyline, but it's going to, lean back a little bit and focus on a little R5D4, focus on, some of those notes that ring some of our bells.
I'm with you. I think, and I hope that it is very much a self-contained story. I would love it to be kind of a, I don't know what the adventure would be, but sort of the adventure of the week kind of concept that we've seen in the TV show. But let's see that in a 2-hour movie. And I do think you're right. I think there'll be a lot of callbacks, but I also think that it may be an opportunity to also bring Grogu and Din Grogu and Din Djarin to a wider audience. And that's a weird thing to say because everybody's got the Baby Yoda shirts. You can't throw a cat in a Walmart without hitting one of those. But throwing cats in Walmart, by the way, great idea. Go do it.
I'll do it.
You didn't hear it from me. But I think, people who don't have Disney Plus, people who aren't religious about their Star Wars are going to go on a Saturday to watch The Mandalorian and Grogu, and it may be their first introduction to little Baby Yoda. So I think it's a great opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So I think your setup is Zeb, Carson Teva, and Din with some version of, not Rangers of the New Republic, but there were those scenes in the bar. There was those moments of we're mopping up things. Like that's your standalone story let it be driven by how is he working with these guys who have helped him out somewhere along the way.